boys and girls. It's another day here at the Sullivan household. We've been busy. You can hear dishes going behind me. We have been making our really cool illustrations to go with our words. Erin chose the word nice today and pretended she was one of the authors in the book that we read yesterday and decorated that while Augie continued his research and had a bunch of math to do from his teacher. I'm going to kind of focus on math today. I feel like we've been neglecting it a little bit. So I have a story I'm going to read to you. It's called Billions of Bricks. Billions of Bricks. Two, 4, 6. Look at all the bricks. Red and rough, hard and tough. 2, 4, 6. What are they counting by if they say 2, 4,
counting by
6?
2.
They're counting by 2s. We're getting 2 bigger each time. 2, 4, 6. Each time you're adding 2. 10, 20, 30. Some are old and dirty. Some are clean or in between. 10, 20, 30. Now what are we counting by?
10s.
Groups of 10. 10, then we go up by another 10. 20, up by another 10. 30. Good. 3 groups of 10. Dig the clay, squish it thick, take a mold and make a brick. Dump it out, let it dry. Stoke the oven way up high. Ooh, now they're making the bricks. Somebody's got to make all those bricks for us to count.
Can I see? Whoa.
Mix, mix, mix. The mortar for the bricks. The mortar is the stuff that goes in between the bricks to hold them together. It's kind of like the brick glue. Make it sloppy, goopy gloppy, mix, mix, mix. Bricks and blocks abound, build beneath the ground. Arches, pillars, walls, and cellars, winding all around. Oh my goodness, look at this magnificent structure that's all made out of brick and mortar.
I already know what mortar is, but I forgot what it is.
Remember, that's the glue between the bricks. That's
Yeah.
what I just said. 5, 10, 15, 20. Stacks of bricks, bricks aplenty. Now what did we count by? 5, 10, 15, 20.
Counting by 5.
I know.
5, 10, 15, 20. 5 each time. Counting by 5s. Lay them at your feet. Fit them nice and neat. 4 by 4. Then more and more. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Now they're laying the bricks down. On it goes in rows and rows, and soon you'll have a street. Now they're making a road out of bricks. 2, 4, 6. Another batch of bricks. Big and small, we use them all. 2, 4, 6. What are we counting by?
4s.
2, 4,
Twos.
6. Yeah, counting by 2s again. Remember, that's what we were counting sacks by. Build a solid base. Lock them into place. 10, 20, 30, 40. Filling every space. What are we counting by this time?
What did you go by?
10, 20, 30, 40. Filling every space.
That would be 10s.
That would be 10s. Clack, clack, clack. Bricks can break your back. Bending your knees when lifting, please. Clack, clack, clack. Oh my goodness. What would be a word to describe how that brick feels to that guy? That brick load must be painful. Sure, but when he's holding it, how can you tell how that feels?
Heavy.
It feels heavy. See the strain he has when he's lifting? I know that that bag must be very heavy.
Of cement.
Probably of the cement. Stack them high, 100 meters high. 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh gosh, okay. 20, 40.
You can't keep buying 20s.
Counting by 20s. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know we could do that. 20, 40, 60, 80. It reminds me of 2, 4, 6, 8. But it just has a 0 at the end.
Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 40, 60, 80. Counting by 20s. Who knew you could do that? 2, 4, 6, a million, billion bricks. Columns, walls, shopping malls, halls of politics. So many different types of building can be built out of bricks. Back to counting by 2s. Grand hotels, wishing wells, railroad yards, boulevards, fountains, pools, public schools.
Wait, did they actually mean public school?
Mm-hmm. This whole book is full of bricks, and now that it's been written, we couldn't stack another block for all the bricks in Britain. The work is nearly done. The cleanup has begun. Let's count the bricks we didn't use all together. Oh, they used a lot of bricks. I wonder how many they didn't use. They didn't use just 1. Awesome. One thing that you could do to practice your counting today would be to get a piece of paper. Mom or Dad could help. Draw 10 rows, because we know what rows are. Rows are this. And then draw 10 columns in the same chart. And you can write all your numbers 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, all the way down to 100. And practice writing those numbers. You know that the 10s change when we go from row to row. And when we're in columns, our columns change the 1's place. Okay? Practice that. Make sure you're writing the 10s in the right spot and the 1's in the right spot. Little creeper over here. Here he is. Another challenge for you. I know we were finishing up our unit on the 100 chart, but I thought an easy unit that we could do for math while we're at home so that we don't fall too far behind is that we could do a little bit of measurement. So when we talk about measurement, we measure all different things all day long. You can measure how tall something is, how high a column is. You can measure a row or something, how long something is. You can do how tall, how long. What are some other things we can measure?
Their width.
Ooh, a width of something. Very similar to a length, but like the width of your cabinet, the width of your couch. We can also measure different types of things. Erin had a bit of a runny nose today and I immediately got nervous and I checked her temperature on her forehead. So I used a thermometer. Our thermometer goes right on your forehead and you can check a temperature. She doesn't have a temperature. I think I'm just paranoid about the coronavirus. So you can check the temperature, how hot something is or how cool something is. There's also thermometers that go in your mouth. There are temperature thermometers outside to tell you how cold it is outside. Mr. Sullivan gathered some measuring tools. This is a temperature reader too. I think if I just tap outside, 64 degrees on my window. Maybe I should turn up the heat. But then if I hit the wall, it's 69 degrees. That's right where I like to keep it, 69 degrees. Check my forehead. I don't know, does it tell me? Oh, I'm 94. So you can definitely check the temperature of things. Another thing you can check is weight. How much something weighs. Mrs. Sullivan doesn't have scales in her household, so I didn't have one of those to show you. But you can, most scales come, we have one in our classroom, actually. I think we measured apples or the weight of apples on them earlier in the fall. It's a kind of a square rather flat. You step on it. Ooh, it was also in the dramatic play area when we had our pet rescue center where you could weigh the stuffed animals. That would be another way to practice weight. But I feel like while you're at home, maybe you should get some really good practice in length and height and width measurement. Here's some things you can use. We have a ruler. It is a very old ruler, if you can see it. There are 2 different ways to measure. There's these teeny tiny little marks down at the bottom. Those are centimeters. But the big ones that in kindergarten we have to kind of learn about a little bit is the inches. So I'm going to put it up real close there. You can see 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So from this area to that one right there, that is 1 inch long. Okay? What I would encourage you to do is if you have some of these rulers, you could go and you could do some measuring in your house. You could find out how long a book is. The most important part with measurement is that you're accurate. Accurate means you take your time and measure things really perfectly. So I put my book right up to the edge, made sure it was flat or flush is what some people say. And now I go all the way over there. See how my book stops right at the number 11? That means this book is 11 inches tall. Oh, I put it upside down. 11 inches tall. Across the book, if I make it flush again, right there at the edge, it stops right there, right around the 8.5 mark. That means it's an 8.5 by 11, which is a typical size for a piece of paper. You could measure your hand. You could measure your shoe. You could measure any of your books pieces of paper. I also have a couple other measuring tools that would make measuring longer items easier. This is a measuring tape that I use when I'm sewing. It's a flexible measuring tape. Look at how long this one goes. It starts right at 1, and then it keeps going. Oh, you can see right now I'm at 36. I know it's backwards. I don't know how to fix that. Keeps going. It goes all the way to 60 inches. 60 inches is just about as tall as Mrs. Sullivan. So this one I could measure longer items. I could go and maybe measure my chair across. I'm going to make it flush here to here. This one is at 13 inches. Where is it? 13 inches. Moms or dads might also have something like this. It's a measuring tape. These go very long. And you could even measure across a room. You could measure how tall mom or dad is. You could measure all sorts of things with a measuring tape. My last suggestion, if you don't have any of that, is you can use non-standard measurement and get just as good a practice. In fact, I think you should practice it this way too. I went digging through Augie and Aaron's closet and I found interlocking cubes or blocks. You could use Legos. You could use wooden blocks. You could use paper clips. Anything that is the same size you can measure with. If I were going to measure my table, I would start at one end and I would line my cubes up all the way across my table. Let me move this so you can see it a little bit better. See how I started right here on one end? Hoping you can see this. I gotta look what I'm doing here. There! Again with my blooper roll. All right. Started right there on one end. Yikers. I need a cameraman. On one end, and I'm going to continue all the way across my table. And then at the end, I can tell you how many cubes or how many blocks long my table is. So you can start with some non-standardized measurement too. Parents give them many things to try and measure. Make sure that they're practicing lining things up at the edges, and have some fun with it. It's something, send them on a measuring hunt all throughout the house, measuring as many things as they can. Good luck, happy counting, get some measurement done, and I'll have a video for you tomorrow. Bye guys.